Have you ever wondered why, despite decades of personal development programs flooding the market, so many people remain stuck in the same patterns? Why, after countless books, seminars, and courses teaching the science of achievement, millions still struggle with the same challenges year after year? Consider Sarah, who diligently applied every strategy from the latest best-selling personal development programs. She set SMART goals, created vision boards, practiced affirmations, and followed all the prescribed action steps. Yet 3 years later, she found herself in the same unfulfilling job, the same troubled relationship patterns, just with more self-help books on her shelf. Or Michael, who immersed himself in spiritual manifestation practices. He meditated daily, visualized his ideal future, and practiced detachment from outcomes. Yet his practical life remained unchanged. His business still struggled, and his financial stress continued to mount. What's happening here isn't a failure of either approach, it's attempting to run a race with only one leg. Imagine trying to ride a bicycle using only the front wheel or only the back wheel. You might make some progress, but you'll eventually topple over. This is precisely what happens when we embrace personal development without spiritual integration, or spiritual practices without practical application. We've been taught to see these as separate paths, the practical world of action versus the spiritual realm of being. But this artificial separation is the very reason both approaches ultimately fall short for most people. The truth is, these dimensions were never meant to be separated in the first place. What we need isn't another technique or another manifestation ritual. What we need is integration, reuniting what has never truly been separate. This integration is what I call spiritual life coaching, and it's the missing key that makes everything else finally work. Get ready, because your life is about to change profoundly. I'm not just sharing another system or set of techniques. I'm about to teach you the one and only process that truly leads to success. This isn't hyperbole or marketing, it's a fundamental truth that becomes obvious once you see it. When you study anyone who has achieved genuine success, not just external achievements, but true fulfillment, you'll discover they've all followed the same essential process. Sometimes, certain elements were provided by mentors, family members, or circumstances that supported them. But here's the crucial insight. You cannot rely on others for your personal growth. The journey must be yours. It's time to learn and apply these steps to success yourself. And here's what makes this journey so powerful. Once you understand these principles and prove them true in your own life, something remarkable happens. You transition from seeking support to being able to offer it to others. You move from consuming light to generating it. This is the ultimate transformation, the moment you realize that you are the light. When this shift occurs, you no longer need to search for it elsewhere. The answers, the power, the potential, they've always resided within you, waiting for the right key to unlock them. That key is what we're about to discover together. Are you ready to begin? At the heart of this integrated approach lies what I call the master law of spiritual life coaching: congruency. Congruency is the perfect alignment between all dimensions of your being. When there is incongruency, a misalignment between your external actions and internal truths, tension arises. This tension manifests as discomfort, stress, or that persistent feeling that something is off in your life. Your entire being recognizes the discord and naturally seeks resolution. Think about the times you've said yes when you meant no. Remember when you pursued goals that others valued but that didn't resonate with your deeper self. Recall moments when you projected confidence externally while harboring self-doubt internally. Each of these incongruencies creates an energetic drain, a constant background noise of tension seeking resolution. But when you achieve congruency, something miraculous happens. There's a profound sense of peace and harmony. Energy that was once consumed by maintaining these contradictions is now available for creation and growth. This congruency must exist in two critical dimensions. First, personal congruency, the alignment between the seen and unseen aspects of yourself. When your actions, words, thoughts, and deepest values all align, you experience what some traditions call integrity, being whole and undivided. Second, interpersonal congruency, harmony between yourself and others. This doesn't mean pleasing everyone. It means relating to others from your authentic center rather than from manipulation or need. The power of this principle cannot be overstated. Every spiritual tradition and effective personal development system touches on this truth, though they may use different language. When you master congruency, you master the foundational law that governs all sustainable success. As we progress through this course, you'll discover that each module ultimately serves this master principle, creating perfect alignment between your practical actions and spiritual essence, between your outer achievements and inner light. Let me share how this integrated approach creates real, measurable transformation in practice. Consider the journey of someone facing a business failure. Using only traditional approaches, they might analyze what went wrong, create better strategies, and work harder, yet still face the same underlying patterns. Using only spiritual approaches, they might find peace with the situation but lack practical direction for rebuilding. But through spiritual life coaching, the path unfolds differently. Following specific actions toward their desired outcome, they notice life beginning to flow in a new direction. When obstacles arise, rather than falling into despair, they draw on faith, hope, and persistence to adjust their actions and keep moving forward. Even when logic fails to provide clear answers, when the spreadsheets and business plans don't reveal the next step, the path reveals itself one step at a time. Insights arrive from unexpected sources, opportunities emerge that weren't visible before, seemingly random connections prove meaningful. This isn't mystical thinking, it's the natural result of operating with both wheels in perfect balance. I've seen people transform struggling businesses into thriving enterprises that exceed their original vision. I've witnessed relationships heal when they seemed beyond repair. I've observed health transformations that confounded medical expectations. The common thread in each case wasn't just better action plans or more positive thinking, it was the integration of practical steps with spiritual alignment. This congruence created results that exceeded all logical expectations, not as rare miracles but as the natural outcome of working with the complete system, rather than just half of it. What we've explored today is just the beginning, the doorway into a transformative journey that integrates the best of both worlds. The path of spiritual life coaching doesn't ask you to choose between practical achievement and spiritual growth. It reveals how these are two essential aspects of the same journey. As you move forward, I invite you to first immerse yourself in the foundational resources we discussed: Anthony Robbins' Personal Power 2 and the basic teachings of Kabbalah Revealed. Experience them with new awareness, noticing how each addresses one dimension of success while leaving space for the other. When you return to continue our journey together, you'll begin to see familiar concepts in an entirely new light. The practical strategies you may have tried before will be infused with spiritual power. The spiritual principles you've encountered will find their practical application. Remember, this integration isn't about adding more to your already busy life. It's about bringing wholeness to everything you already do. It's about resolving the inner conflicts that have drained your energy and replacing them with the power of congruency. You've likely been seeking this missing piece for longer than you realize. Perhaps you've sensed that something was incomplete in your approach to growth and success. Trust that intuition. It has led you here for a reason. The journey ahead will challenge you. It will ask you to examine beliefs you've long held and to step beyond comfortable patterns. But unlike approaches that demand sacrifice without fulfillment, this path offers immediate evidence of its truth through the peace, clarity, and power you'll experience with each step. Your journey toward true success, success that nourishes rather than depletes, begins now. Welcome to the path of integration, congruency, and wholeness. Welcome to Spiritual Life Coaching. Just before we part for today, I want to add one more homework assignment to your list. This simple exercise will begin activating the principles we've discussed and give you immediate insight into your current state of congruency. Take 15 to 20 minutes with a journal or note-taking app and complete the following. First, identify at least 2 areas in your life where you feel a strong sense of congruency, where your outer actions align perfectly with your inner truth. This might be in your career, a relationship, a personal practice, or any other aspect of your life. For each area, note how you feel when engaged in this area. Describe why this area feels aligned and in harmony. Observe what this congruency creates in your life. Next, identify at least 2 areas where you experience incongruence, where tension exists between your external actions and internal values or desires. For each area, write down how this incongruence feels in your body and emotions. Identify the primary source of this misalignment. List 2 to 3 specific, actionable steps you could take to create greater congruency. This exercise isn't just about gathering information, it's about developing the awareness that precedes transformation. By identifying areas of both congruency and incongruence, you'll begin to recognize the distinct feeling of alignment, making it easier to navigate toward in all areas of your life. When we meet for our next lesson, you'll already have experiential knowledge of congruency that will make our upcoming principles much more tangible and applicable. Complete this assignment, along with beginning to explore the 2 foundational resources we discussed. These steps will prepare you perfectly for what comes next in our journey together.